Hey guys, thanks for joining me for this Day 7 preview of Wimbledon 2019. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Okay, so let's dive right in. Today is Sunday, which is the day off for Wimbledon. They always refer to it as the middle Sunday when the players get a rest. And tomorrow is often called Manic Monday because we have a ton of matches. In fact, they're going to be playing out all of the fourth round singles matches. So that's 8 men's matches, 8 women's matches. And I actually think this is a really exciting time in the tournaments. You're about halfway there. Some of the early rounds can be a little boring when you have high ranked players facing much lower ranked players, and you have really quick matches that are really one sided. But by the time you're at the fourth round, everyone who's there is there for a reason. They're tough, they're playing well, and they deserve to be there. Nobody gets to the fourth round by accident, and you really find that the level of play really goes up in intensity. So let's take a look at what we have scheduled for Monday. So Rafa Nadal will be playing Joao Sosa. Sosa had an amazing and really close five-setter against Dan Evans that he just eked out. He's a great player, but this is Nadal we're talking about, and I think in all their previous meetings, Nadal won very easily. So got to give that one to Rafa, and I have to say, for a player who's had so much difficulty on grass in the last few years, Rafa's been doing great, so kudos to him. Jo Konta had a great win over Sloane Stephens. She's going to be facing Kvitova, who is a two-time Wimbledon champion, and despite the fact that she's coming off an injury, is looking pretty good. So I definitely have to give that one to Kvitova. And then we have Roger Federer facing Matteo Berrettini. I've talked about Berrettini before. He's a young up-and-comer. He's really dangerous. He's got a great game, a power game. And he plays really well on grass. He actually just won a grass court tournament prior to Wimbledon. So this is their first meeting. So neither one has the experience of playing the other. I think this will be Roger's toughest match yet. I can definitely see Berrettini taking a set off of Roger. But ultimately, Roger is the undisputed best grass player that ever lived. So I definitely think Roger will pull through this one. Then we have Serena, who started out the tournament a little shaky, but is looking a lot better. She faces Carla Suarez Navarro, who I actually love. I think is an amazing player. I love her one-handed backhand. I love how she moves around the court. Unfortunately, Carla is really a clay court player. Her results on grass are not great, and her record against Serena is not great. So I think unless something really crazy and unexpected happens, this one is definitely going to Serena. Then we get to an interesting match, Simona Halep versus Corey or Coco Gauff. Now, if you've been following Wimbledon, you know that Gauff has had just an amazing fairy tale run. I mean, she's 15 years old, she's ranked outside the top 300. She almost didn't make it through qualifying, and here she is. She's beaten 3 solid players to get to the fourth round, and she's facing Simona Halep, who is a major winner, a former number one. Halep's main weapon, I think, is her consistency. And I think that's going to be the undoing of Gauff. Gauff definitely has an exciting and kind of a almost dangerous game. But I think the fairy tale is going to end here for her. I think it'll be a fairly close match, but I have to give this one to Halep. She just has the experience, the consistency, the variety. So as much as we've loved this story about Coco Gauff, and as much as we know she's going to be a rising star, I do think this one's going to go to Halep. Djokovic Humbert. This is an interesting story. Everyone was expecting that this match was going to be Djokovic versus Felix Auger-Aliassime, and as we saw last week, Aliassime lost in straight sets to Humbert. not a complete unknown, but definitely not someone who is on most people's radar. Um, Also a young player, very aggressive. He's a lefty. Um, I don't know if he and Djokovic have ever played before, but kind of like Roger facing Berrettini, I think this could be a bit of a challenge for Djokovic. He could drop a set, but ultimately his experience will win out. So I do see Djokovic winning this and advancing to the quarterfinals. Um, Barty versus Risk. Ali Risk has had a great tournament. I do think her game is very well suited to grass, but Ash Barty is just on fire. I mean, aside from having all that confidence from winning the French Open, she just has a natural grass court game. She's a great all-around player, and I see her going very deep in this tournament. Then we get to the battle of the two Czech players. You've got Muchova, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, versus Karolina Pliskova. Pliskova, number 3 in the world, has been doing great. However, Muchova, I saw a little bit of her game, and I'm really impressed. I do think she will be a top 20 player at some point, but again, I have to give the edge to Pliskova just with her experience and just kind of having the weapons that she does. Moving on to Nishikori Kukushkin. Kukushkin has actually been the surprise of this tournament. I actually saw a funny post on Instagram. I think the ATP just posted this little grid of all 16 players who are left on the men's side and said, you know, who's going to take it? And someone kind of sarcastically said, oh, definitely Kukushkin. Of course, not really meaning it. And Kukushkin actually saw this post and responded, and he's like, thanks for the support. I think he knew it was tongue-in-cheek, and he was being tongue-in-cheek. But it's like, you know what, why not? You know, yes, he's old. He's an older player. He's never really gone that deep in a major. But why not? Some players have just these amazing sort of resurgences in their career. Nishikori could have an off day. You just never know. So I give the edge to Nishikori, but I say don't be too shocked if Kukushkin pulls it out. Svitolina Martic. You know, Martic has been looking really great lately. Svitolina is ranked higher, but I don't know. I'm just looking at the tea leaves, and something's telling me that Martic is going to take this. Goffin Verdasco. Again, two players who just are looking great. Verdasco is generally more of a clay court player, like a lot of Spanish players, but he can be dangerous on all surfaces. I think it's going to be a tight match, but I do think Goffin is going to win. Guido Pella, why am I blanking? He just took out someone pretty big. But anyway, as well as he's been playing, Raonic, you know, it's hard to argue with his serve and his strokes and his comfort at the net on grass. So I do have to give the edge to Raonic, even though hasn't played his best tennis the last year or so, but I do think he's on the comeback trail. Stritsova took out Kiki Burton, so that says something. She's not seeded, but she's a dangerous player. In the end, though, I do like Mertens. I have to give her the edge in that one. Querrey and Sandgren both having amazing tournaments. Sandgren surprised us yesterday. Again, I'm kind of blanking on. I know he took out someone. He took out Fonini, and Querrey has also been doing great. Two players who are just having a great tournament, but in the end, I've got to give this one to Querrey. Yastremska, also a young, dangerous player who took out some other good players. I'm going to give her the edge. Bautista Agut over Paire. And what else? This is mostly doubles and boys and girls. Other than that, in mixed, I think just the sort of the pairs that everyone's been looking at, Serena and Andy, don't play until the following day. Coco Gauff, she tried a little mixed. It didn't work out for her, but that's okay. She's got more things to focus on. All right, guys, that is my wrap-up for predictions for Day 7 of Wimbledon. Again, thanks for watching. Please feel free to comment. Let me know what you think. any particular players or matchups you'd like to hear about. And if you like what you heard, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Until tomorrow, have a good one, and I will talk to you soon.